democracy, people voting, not the billionaires, not the influencers. We're going to leave it to the people, and I suggest to my adversaries they do what I do, spend 20 hours of a 24-hour day and get out your vote. And to Andrew Cuomo, stop moaning and groaning that I should drop out, because I'm not dropping out. I'm in this to win it, and I proved it on the stage again tonight. 2 debates that I've won, that I've got under the belt. Any questions?
Curtis, why do you think Zohran said he would rank you second?
Why, that's why I told him not to glaze me. You know, don't be glazing me, Zohran. Remember, he's no friend of mine. He's in the back pocket of billionaires too, just like Andrew Cuomo is.
Curtis, you said that you would keep, or you would ask the police commissioner as a condition to stay on. What is it that you have confidence in her about? And if you wouldn't accept Mayor Adams' endorsement, why accept his choice of his mayor?
Well, Jessica Tisch was given the responsibility to clean up the mess of Eric Adams and his cronies, Caban, and then the worst, Jeffrey Madry, who turned the 13th floor into the sequel of Caligula. She's done an outstanding job. And she's also a believer in my belief that you cannot have raised the age, because it has contributed to a horrific rise in juvenile violent crime, my son being a victim of one of those gang attacks. So I don't understand why she would stay on if either of those men are elected mayor, because it seems all of her positions are aligned with me. She's against no cash bail, as I am. Therefore, no cash bail. The architect is Cuomo. The apprentice is Zohran. She's against the raise the age. The architect of that law, again, Andrew Cuomo. The apprentice is Zohran Mamdani. I'm for lowering it. So she would have more in common with me about how to limit the effect of these laws that have rendered the police department at times impotent. And obviously, I think I can convince her to make a full pitch to get that qualified immunity that has been stripped from the police back, so that they can feel fully insured when they go out there, like the 320,000 other civil servants who are protected. And as you know, Governor Cuomo was protected when he was governor. The sexual harassment suits, as Tom DiNapoli has said, the payouts are mounting. It'll probably be $60 million before all 13 is settled. We have to pay that. Why? Because Governor Cuomo had qualified immunity, but we took it away from the police in 2021. So I think we would be very good partners. Hopefully she would serve. I would ask her first, that's for sure.
Is there anyone else in the Adams administration that you would keep on?
Absolutely nobody else involved with Eric Adams. In fact, not even the potato chip gal, Winnie Greco, a bad woman who should be in jail with Eric Adams, serving time with George Santos and Go Bar's Bobby Menendez.
Curtis, you made yourself clear on stage that you're staying in the race. What more do you think you have to say? I know you barrage every day with that same question, to put that to rest, to be able to finish up the campaign.
Well, the billionaires somehow think that they can control everything. And some of their agents have actually said to me in conversation, Curtis, everybody has a price. They really believe that they can buy whatever they want. And I think I've proven to not only my supporters, but also those that are not going to vote for me, because they all should have an opportunity to pick the next mayor. The Curtis Sliwa cannot be bought. I can't be sold. And if the people of New York City will be good enough to make me the mayor, I will put a sign on City Hall, not for sale, because under Eric Adams, everything was for sale. If the price was right, as you saw it, Eric Adams was one and done. Timothy Pearson, Phil Banks, Winnie Greco, Ingrid Lewis-Martin, obviously the Caban brothers, and the worst of all, Jeffrey Madry. Proof positive. You must set the example. It's do as I say and not as I do, and then I think it'll filter down into every agency and even into the city council.
Regarding that Mamdani is also in the pockets of billionaires, can you name or be specific about who you think?
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, we know that Eric Adams' billionaires immediately ran over to Andrew Cuomo, who they had been with on the first time. It gives me vertigo. But there are a number of known people who have leftist, progressive, attitudes in politics, who are in millionaire status, who have donated money to Zohran's campaign. There's a list
Sorry,
of
just
them.
following up, you said billionaires. Can you give us a name?
Billionaires. Well, I know they're out there. You see, I don't associate with billionaires. In fact, I don't want to have anything to do with billionaires. Billionaires, do me a favor. Don't send me any donations because I'll send it back COD, cash on delivery.
Curtis, regarding your housing announcement earlier, if every city councilman and woman can veto construction and development in their district, how would any housing be?
Well, I told you, we already have empty office building space, especially in Manhattan, northern Brooklyn, and northern Queens, that will never be occupied by business again.
How many units is that?
Oh, 25 Empire buildings worth. The real estate industry has basically said that is the number. And I say you can turn them around and retrofit them to affordable apartments in 1 year. Building a brand new building with, let's say, 300 apartments, I disagree with Andrew Cuomo, basically from beginning to end takes 5 years. The infrastructure is already in Manhattan, the schools, the subways. In the outer boroughs, they don't have that infrastructure to be able to support that. Basically, this city of yes on steroids, it's on the back, the charter revision initiatives that I say vote no on, would allow the developers to be able to forego having to deal with the community board, zoning restrictions, dealing with the city council person. So if a mayor was in office and he was in the back pocket of the developers, like we know Eric Adams is, then basically they can run roughshod in residential areas where they could construct a 40-story apartment building, and they don't have to provide parking, and they don't have to provide improvements to the infrastructure. The infrastructure is in the city. We can already retrofit these office buildings, which will never be used again for
How many units, though, in those? How many?
Energy tonight? I mean, did you enjoy teaming up with him on Mamdani a couple times there?
I think he drank a few Red Bulls before he went in there. Because in the last debate, boy, he was low energy Andrew. He reminded me of low energy Jeb Bush, remember? But you see, he's not out there campaigning. As the New York Post reported, he was off the campaign trail for 10 days. I'm out there 20 hours of a 24-hour day with my supporters who are doing get-out-the-vote efforts, knocking on doors, door hangers, making phone calls, email blasts, texting, snail mail, everything you have to do. I see the Zohranistas all the time because I'm in their neighborhoods trying to get millennials and Gen Zers who are not committed to Zohran. I never see Cuomo people out there trying to solicit votes. All I see him do is moan and groan and Sliwa should drop out or he can't win. Boy, if I was a Cuomo supporter and I heard that, so you mean if Sliwa doesn't drop out, why would I go out there and try to get people to vote for you? Because he said it 9,000 times he's not dropping out. But tonight, I'm telling you, he must have had some Red Bulls. He had some octane in his tank. Now, maybe he'll have enough to actually go out on the streets and press some flesh, because he seems to have phobia against average, everyday working people.
You said the federal government shouldn't get involved with the street vendors and that the NYPD can handle it, but you also said that we can't allow federal forces to be attacked. So should NYPD be handling that as well?
Well, the fact that the NYPD disappeared once the federal law enforcement agencies appeared is really a disgrace. I mean, they're brothers and sisters in solidarity. Now, I understand they're hiding behind the sanctuary city law, that, oh, you can only get involved in criminal situations, but not civil situations. Well, that's why I had suggested that this whole sanctuary city situation be put under charter revision. For 2 years, people had wanted that when they went and testified, but Eric Adams wouldn't do it. I think he's afraid that people might repeal sanctuary city, but then again, why not put it up for a vote of the people? And as mayor, I'd have to live with their decision. I tell you, we wouldn't have to worry about turnout of an election. You put charter revision, whether you're for sanctuary city or against, you'll have town hall meetings, you'll have lines going around the block. It'll stimulate people. I've seen initiative and referendum in California and Arizona, it nourishes the vote. People come out for principles. They don't come out for politicians, as has been evidenced by the recent turnouts in mayoral elections that have been dismal. I expect more this time because of the attention. But 24% when I ran against Eric Adams. You put more initiatives and referendums. You give people the power to make change. I trust people. I don't trust politicians. I don't trust billionaires. I don't trust influencers.
I know we got time for one more question. Okay, thank you.
Curtis, if the current polls are correct and Mamdani does win in less than 2 weeks, is there ever a world where you would collaborate with him and try to help his administration?
The only thing I would do if, God forbid, Zohran Mamdani was the choice of the people and we will live it up to them, is I will organize resistance because I will improve, I will not move. Zohran Mamdani could bet that I will be his worst nightmare. Because unlike Andrew Cuomo with his billionaire friends in the Hamptons who said, oh, if Zohran's elected, I'm fleeing to Florida. I'm not going anywhere. I was born in New York. They tried to kill me in New York. I'll die in New York. I'll be buried in New York. And if somehow Zohran Mamdani is elected by the people, boy, he is going to regret ever knowing the name of Curtis Sliwa, because I'm going to be on his case 24 hours a day when he's being Pinocchio. Because I got to tell you, oftentimes Zohran Mamdani is Pinocchio. It's not like his nose grows. His smile just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's how you know that Zohran Mamdani is telling another lie, another whopper, fantasy rather than reality.
Thank you very much. Thank you.